What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We're on Heroic. We are 5 directives. We're hunting down a resource convoy here just for some open world giggles. And I thought I'd show you a build that is really good for this event. And actually great for everything else as well. As you can see, the heads explode. Really nice. And obviously, determined being as it is, it's a real treat to play as well. He wants to see blood. Just rude, really. But it makes everything an absolute cakewalk. As you can see, that event's really over really quickly, and you obviously don't get as much XP as you used to get for it, but you can basically run around the map and do any activity with this, grab yourself a bunch of resources and have a lot of fun while you are at it. Let's head back to the base of operations and I will show you the build. It's an oldie but a goodie. Definitely worth revisiting this build for when Reanimated comes around, especially while Determined is in the state that it currently is. So what you want to get, first of all, is it's up to you with the specialization, really. There's a whole bunch of things you could take. I like taking Firewall, I like the Firewall shield, and it also gives you that little bit of extra damage when you do the initial shot to get all your chain killer and headshot bonuses going. So I kind of like that. It's a little bit of defense as well, but you don't have to go with that. You could perhaps go with Gunner and get some armor on kill, and then you could run the full shield, and not have to worry about that as well. You've got a whole bunch of options there. You could run sharpshooter if you wanted to as well for some extra stability. You get the stability here, 15% increased weapon stability, which I also like to run in this build because it helps keep me accurate, and if you're not using mouse and keyboard or using a controller and it's a little bit harder, this just helps towards being able to hit them shots. Right, so first of all, you're going to want to get yourself a D50. D50 is absolutely king with this thing. It's really nice. Obviously, I would recommend using the Regulus if you were just going to go to headshots all the time. But if you want to be able to hit the body shots as well, like me, Determined on a D50 is definitely the way to go. So pistol damage and damage to target out of cover is definitely what you want. And then we've got Determined. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. And at the moment, we can chain this over and over again. They have tried to fix it a few times, but it seems to have fallen off the radar. So I'm not really sure if that means that it'll never get changed or not. But as of right now, I really like it, and I definitely think it's worth using it, especially if you're trying to farm some SHDs, doing open world activities. This is really going to be your go-to. Secondary gun, you could run anything else that you really want. You could run a Scorpio, you could run like this, a White Death. I use Determined on it. Still, if you want to try and take them out from range a little bit, you can do with this build. There's no requirement to be up close and personal. Same kind of setup, damage to target out of cover, and Determined will do the job nicely. And I've just got my OUROBOROS on here really for a bit of a flex because it is so good. It's absolutely amazing. But like I said, if you don't want to run these, you could just run a Scorpio. And that will get you out of trouble just as well as anything else. Here is the rest of the build. So we're going to use the Dodge City Gunslinger's holster, and that's for if you run out of Headhunter stacks, if you haven't got anything stacked up and you need that initial shot to definitely get a kill so it procs your chain killer. This is what you're going to want to use. Comes with weapon handling and headshot damage as well anyway, so perfect stats for what we're after. And gives it that first shot a huge amount of damage. And then after that, it's all pretty easy stuff to get. It's all high-end stuff. So you can get yourself a chain killer. If you're really lucky, you could run a HG chest. There is some differences between these and how much damage that they both put out. But they're very similar. Some will put out extra damage with with crit damage, and some won't. Some will get straight to armor damage. We'll do a little bit more. It's really minor. So whichever one you get, probably the chain killer because the HG one is really hard to get. But we get the 5% weapon damage bonus. And I've opted for weapon handling everywhere. You could put crit chance everywhere to increase your chances as crit. But I like the reload bonus, I like the extra stability and everything with the aiming and things like that. Just makes me feel a whole lot more comfortable when playing. Headshot damage for the other attributes, and obviously headshot damage in the mod slot as well. And we're going to get perfect headhunter, and we'll get the damage bonus raised because the headshot damage will be over 150% by the time we get to the end of this build. Then you want to get yourself a punch drunk. We get pistol damage here off the rip, which is really nice. Headshot damage as it gets boosted on this piece. Weapon handling and headshot damage again in the mod slot. Backpack, a gift. It doesn't have to be a gift. A regular Providence would be fine. But again, also this could be a HG backpack because we get 15% headshot damage as the base bonus, just the same as you do with Providence. So weapon damage, headshot, weapon handling and headshot damage with perfect vigilance. Now vigilance is definitely controversial right now because if your shield gets hit you do lose the bonus. So if you wanted to run something else, we could do, and we'll go to the crafting bench in a few moments and we'll go through that as well. But the build isn't really affected by it. Once if you stand behind cover, like you saw that we do once my shield had gone, if you don't want the shield bonus and things like that, you won't really feel affected by it too much at all. Then we're going to run Contractor's Gloves, just make sure you got headshot damage rolled onto them, and obviously the core attribute as weapon damage. And then Fox's Prayer as weapon damage, and this should be headshot damage actually at the bottom here. I've actually put the wrong prayer on, but we'll change that just now while we're going to have a look at the talents that we can run on the backpack. So I'll recal them straight away to headshot damage because that's what they should be. And then if we look in the library, and for backpacks there's not much otherwise that you could run here. If you wanted to, you know, add armor to it, you could run Bloodsucker. That would be okay. But for damage talents there's not a lot for us to go to. We can't really run opportunistic unless you was deciding to stick with the White Death, so that would be an option there. If you wanted to stay in cover all the time, I suppose you could run Composure. But my go-to really would be, if you are going to be running this, you know, with a shield, would probably be to switch to Unstoppable Force. You're definitely going to stack up the damage really quickly and really easy. Just that obviously you can't run a gift. You're going to have to run either a HG backpack or a Providence backpack with Unstoppable Force, and you don't really have to worry about losing vigilance at all. I'm kind of sticking with it for now. I don't feel like I'm going to get down too much until they fix it. If it seems like they're going to be taking a while to fix it, I'll probably switch to Unstoppable Force. But that's going to be the options for you to take. Stat wise, we're going to look at the stats when we're holding the pistol because that's what we're really interested in. You can see we get 240% headshot damage and 8% armor damage as well. It's just crazy good. And you know, obviously we've got the reload speed bonus here at 42%, accuracy 42%, stability 42%, weapon swap speed doesn't work, so don't really worry about that. And then we've got 32% weapon handling, and it just works out really nice. But definitely do consider hot swapping out vigilance if you feel like it's just down constantly all the time for you. If you're popping them as they're coming out the door, they generally don't get a hit on you. But it obviously depends on what kind of content that you're going to do with this. If you're going to take this to District Union and, you know, and run it legendary, Unstoppable Force might be the way to go. That is going to be it for the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Maybe come over to Twitch and say hi, twitch.tv/DJTICKLE. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. See you later, agents. Bye bye.